Showgirls has lived many lives in its 20 years. The glorious unhinged parable of Nomi, a woman who descends on Las Vegas to become a dancer, is the ultimate Stars-Born satire. But its own rise to greatness took a little longer than its heroines. When it opened on September 22, 1995, the movie already carried an unusual weight on its sequin-clad shoulders.
Okay, ladies, I got one interest here, and that's the show.
Never had a studio, in this case MGM, spent so much money on an explicitly adult movie or released it in more theaters. It was supposed to be the moment the 5-year-old NC-17 rating made good commercially, an edgy erotic event from director Paul Verhoeven and screenwriter Joe Esterhazy, the team behind the 1992 sensation Basic Instinct.
It's nice.
Of course, it was none of those things. Critics brutalized the movie, and it quickly became the reigning punchline of the decade.
But the plot is just another sleazy soap opera.
But by the end of 1996, MGM had craftily begun to revive the movie's fortunes with now legendary midnight screenings in Manhattan, flanked by studio-hired drag queens and loyalists who yelled dialogue at the screen.
There's a message in there. I'm not sure what it is yet.
Critical reevaluation, including the famous support of at least one French New Wave director, soon followed.
Showgirls.
Yet, even amid the movie's second life on midnight screens and ridiculous home video editions, one figure never quite recovered. Star Elizabeth Berkley was ridiculed especially harshly and quickly dropped by her talent agency. Showgirls' more cerebral defenders have sought to recast the movie as a classic Verhoeven satire, subversive in the mode of his great RoboCop or Total Recall.
Get ready for a surprise!
They pointed to Gina Gershon's delicious performance as Crystal Connors, the grand dame of the Las Vegas Showgirls, who torments Nomi with a husky cackle on the flick of a nail.
I'll think about it.
But Berkley has never quite been elevated to that status, the winking participant in on the joke. Nostalgia for her ribbon-haired Saved by the Bell character, coupled with the fact that Showgirls was her first major movie role, have cast Berkley's wild, herky-jerky performance in an especially desperate light. She was as hungry for the glittery marquee as Nomi, and everyone knew it. In reality, Berkley deserves better, as any true Showgirl scholar can attest. Let's take a moment on this most beautiful of anniversaries to lift her back up on stage. Berkley appears in nearly every scene in Showgirls, and from the first shot she makes the role very much her own. Watch her here, in the movie's opening sequence, marching into the frame in her perfectly tasseled leather jacket, the fiercest hitchhiker in the Nevada desert. She walks through the entire movie at this delirious pace with a momentum that looks like it could kill a small child.
You are a whore.
A critic once wrote that Nomi has two emotions, hot and bothered.
Bitch!
And Berkley nails those with a giddy, bizarro energy that fits nicely in the movie's nightmarish cartoon vision of the Vegas underworld. She executes perfectly on Nomi's impish new girl naivete.
Nice dress.
Thanks. It's a Versace.
It's Versace.
Not to mention the movie's rather infectious dance moves. She dons the costumes and backlot vaudeville makeup with aplomb. Whatever else Berkley is, she is game. Showgirls' central relationship between Nomi and Crystal is often considered an eyeliner-crusted coup for Gershon, but Berkley makes a fine camp understudy. I can't think of many actresses, for example, who could use her doe eyes to better effect than in this delightful sequence.
I used to love Doggy Chow. I used to love Doggy Chow, too.
And did anyone not believe her when she finally throws Crystal down the backstage steps? Nomi is downright scary, and Berkley's off-kilter energy sells it. I won't claim there aren't moments that test my convictions.
God, an audition!
But even in the movie's most notorious sequences, the pole lick, a certain private dance, and yes, the pool sex scene, oh, the pool sex scene, Berkley's acrobatic performance only gets more impressive. These scenes are incredibly vulgar, tawdry to a truly unbelievable degree, but she doesn't flinch. She not only pulls off the otherworldly physicality, she gives herself completely to the movie, and that's her real triumph. This is one of the most fearless performances I've ever seen by an actor in any movie, genuinely committed and utterly memorable. That isn't an accident. Berkley herself hasn't always shared my view. She's described the movie as a bad ex-boyfriend she'd rather forget. But even she's begun to thaw. This year, at a 20th anniversary screening, Berkley herself made an unexpected appearance.
Nomi hitchhiked her way to Los Angeles, so if this is where she ended up, this is not bad.
Her own version of Nomi's exalted walk out of Vegas, Los Angeles road sign in the rearview mirror. Nomi, Elizabeth, on your 20th anniversary, we all rhythmically crisscross our arms in your honor.